What's up, everybody? How's it going? Just to make a quick video. I've kind of seen the news and seen a couple of videos talking about Guitar Center and their impending bankruptcy. And it's sad. Mostly for I've made some relationships with people that with local guitar centers, and would consider them friends, and I feel bad for them and the uncertainty that they're kind of facing with everything that's going on. So I think in all, as we look at hear the reports and we think of all of that, we should consider those people who are looking at possibly losing their jobs. I just want to kind of start off with that sentiment. Guitar Center is $1.4 billion in debt. $1.4 billion. I don't understand how that's possible, because I've pretty much spent that the last year there. No, not quite, but that's a shocking amount of money. I guess in the grand scheme of big business like that, maybe it's not, but it sure seems like it. I know Moody's, which is a credit organization, has pretty much called them almost unviable. That's unfortunate, because I feel like the experiences that I've had at Guitar Center have been largely positive. Obviously, that's going to depend store to store. But the fascinating part to me is the business perspective. Is their business model viable anymore? I know Casino Guitars have talked a little bit about this, but I mean, I can think of my buying habits during the recent craziness with the pandemic and all that, and even other than that, Reverb and Sweetwater have been kind of the go-to stores. Especially as I do more, as I'm getting into building guitars and fixing guitars up, which is something that I've kind of come across this year and I've had a lot of fun with and have really enjoyed doing. Man, Reverb's great especially for buying used parts and used stuff like that, because it's just such an easy transaction. And cables, strings, the basic stuff, it's just so easy to go onto Amazon or even Sweetwater, like if you didn't want to do the whole Amazon thing, and just it shows up at your door in a couple days. And you're not running to the it's just so much more convenient to buy that stuff online. I mean, and this is true with the Best Buys and the Walmarts of the world, although Walmart's online business is pretty big, so I haven't looked into Walmart. I'm not sure what they're up to. But ordering from Amazon is just so much easier. So has Guitar Center kind of fallen victim to that? And our sites like Sweetwater and Reverb just really benefiting from that. And Reverb's kind of interesting because it's the return of the mom and pops. Smaller stores using that platform to sell their wares is fascinating. But the one thing I will say about buying guitars is this. Especially when you're looking at nicer guitars and used guitars, I like going to a store and playing the instruments, and inspecting the instrument, and places with good return policies. That's great, but there's nothing quite like playing the instrument, and so I'm going to offer up some ideas about maybe how Guitar Center can save itself. I'm not a business expert. I'm not an analyst. This is just from a customer that would kind of like to see them hang around Number one is leaning into the used equipment and used guitars and amps specifically, because those are the two things that you want to check out. And again, with drums, having used drums, man, I know probably back in the day they made a lot off of tuners and hardware and strings, and while they might want to have a few of those, that kind of stuff around, let's face it, everybody's ordering that stuff online. And even new guitars, leaning into new guitars, having some nice stuff around. I mean, I know the Squier stuff, Squiers and Epiphones are going to move. You're going to do a lot of volume, but having nice stuff available to check out. The whole purpose of going to a guitar store is to try out the instrument and make sure it's good. And so that's the third one. Something I think they've been doing, which was really damaged by COVID, and that's lessons and leaning into that. The third, many of these are rapid fire, but I think a lot of these are obvious, is trying to do something that the small stores did: build relationships and build community. I think these are all incredibly difficult to do in the times that we're living in. But as things start to open up a little bit more and things start to change, I think, maybe doing a jam night or doing kind of community building activities and trying to network musicians together and that kind of stuff is not going to it's not going to generate a sale like at that moment, but it's going to build brand loyalty and build the brand. I think it's going to keep people coming in the stores, and then they're going to buy small things, and then eventually. And the absolute number one thing that they need to do is really kind of twofold. Fix the website. Like, give us a nice website to use. A lot of that's design. It's not even. Give us a good website. And the other one is kind of which is kind of part two of that, is how about good pictures with a concise, decent description on used gear? Give us a little bit of information on the gear and give us good pictures with a couple different angles so that we can see what we're looking at. Guitar Center is really great for used stuff because they generally have good deals, and you can have things shipped store to store, so it's not sitting out front of your house while you're at work and getting rained on or what have you, or in terrible weather, especially with instruments. But having the safety, I mean, if you're buying a $1,000 guitar, you don't want it sitting in front of your house all day and have somebody steal it. Having it being shipped to the store, like, it's very convenient. It's a very awesome thing. And it'd be great to order more stuff used from them. But the pictures are terrible. There's not enough pictures, and there's like no descriptions. Give us descriptions. Give us a little bit of information. Give us a little bit more detail. You spend 10 extra minutes, and I know there's some bean counter calculating, well, if we pay somebody, for 5 minutes across this amount of product, we're going to lose this much money. Disagree. You're going to sell more product if the buyer can have a little bit more information on the used gear. So the other thing is manufacturer demonstrations. I've been to a couple Martin demonstrations at Guitar Center, and they were great. Now, manufacturers have to buy into this as well, but I think they're a good marketing tool. Having a manufacturer rep kind of have a little event where they come in, they demonstrate some of the higher end instruments and play, and that kind of marketing stuff I think would really help. But I think at the end of the day, the corporate structure of Guitar Center is going to be their downfall. As what happens with many businesses, the problem with Guitar Centers are not quite big enough to get bailed out. And I think at this point, they've probably hurt relationships with the big manufacturers and the big players. And and this is just kind of what I see and what I think as a customer. I don't have any inside information. I'm not a business analyst. I'm not involved in the guitar business world, other than the fact that I love music and love playing guitar and drums. And I would like to see more places and more competition to be able to purchase my stuff and have a lot of fun with it. So hopefully Guitar Center can make it and pull off a recovery. But even if they can't, I don't know how much of it's going to leave a little bit of a vacuum. But I don't know how much of a vacuum it is. And then maybe, this is the resurgence of the mom and pop. So it's interesting. We'll see what happens. Like I said, my first thought, my last thought is with the people that work at Guitar Center whose jobs are in jeopardy. And I wish the best for them. If they can continue working there and continue being gainfully employed, I hope that's the case. And if not, I hope everything works out for them, because they're the ones that are going to hurt the worst, probably no matter what happens. And so, just my thoughts are with those workers. So, anyway, thanks for listening to my ramblings, and there's more music coming. So, hang out. We'll see you guys later. Peace. So if you like this video, go ahead and click the like button, click subscribe, and the notification bell, all that good stuff. And if you want to see more of my dumb face, check me out on Instagram and TikTok. I'm on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and all that good stuff. Also, linked below, check out my Spotify and Apple Music pages so you can see some of the music that I've put out. And I'd like to say again, thanks for watching, and peace out, y'all.